Hey there. Thank you for coming and doing the Q&A and everything else. As a homeowner and a Bellingham resident since '97, I bought my first home up here in 2002, which you can imagine is a good time. Things have changed since then. Run businesses, hire individuals who need places to live, recruiting, getting people in with places to live. Housing is important. And so I've kind of a pointed question, I guess, which is, what effect or plans do you have as it pertains to like VRBOs, Airbnbs, and how do you think that's affecting the housing market as far as both rental and purchase price goes and general availability? And what, if any, plans do you have to do with that?
April?
Yeah, so thank you for your question. I'm not sure where I'm looking here, but I'll just stay looking at you. We already addressed this as the council. We had like a 0.01 vacancy rate, something very extremely low. A healthy market is about a 5% vacancy rate. We saw that these short-term rentals were becoming very popular. We also understood that it was a bit of a side hustle for people just trying to make their own mortgages work. So one of the things that we did is passed an ordinance limiting those short-term rentals in residential areas. So in mixed commercial areas where residential is allowed, you can do those, but in primary residential areas, no longer can you do them if you were trying to rent out for your whole house more than 3 months. So as long as you're pretty much here year-round, you can have that little bit of extra money and income. But if you're wanting to rent out an entire home, that's going to be a much more difficult process. So I'd have to look back exactly at the ordinance, but I can share that with you later on how we did that. We also put a trigger in there, understanding that a lot of people want this opportunity for income, but we said we are going to keep it the way it is until we hit about a 4% vacancy rate, and then that will trigger it to come back to council and make those decisions.
What are we up to now, 2%? I know it's on the rise.
It's slowly on the rise for single family. A rental is still pretty struggling.
There's a benefit to being an incumbent, and I've experienced that before, because you get well briefed on lots and lots of issues, and the short-term rental issue was something that I watched as a citizen. April was on the council when they went through that and listened to public testimony, etc. I know that lots of folks have different views on that one. I think what they did was they limited it to 90 days per year. I have friends on both sides of that equations, and one of them pointed out to me that I think the number, and I hope I'm getting this roughly correct, the number of people that are in short-term rental units that are utilizing that, homeowners that are utilizing that, is somewhere in the realm of 350 or so. And this one friend's argument was that constitutes a relatively small percentage of the overall housing stock in Bellingham. So from this person's point of view, they wish that they hadn't limited it. I'd be interested in your point of view on the subject, but that's not part of the game, I guess. I don't know if you have one. I suspect you do.
I'll be here later.
Okay.
I'm interested in where you fall. So according to your friend, do you think it's still something
I guess where I'm going with that is that when I read the compromise that was created by the council, it struck me as rational and wise, and I appreciated the fact that they've got triggers built in that they're going to review after time. Obviously, as mayor, I'll be intimately involved in that whole question, and I look forward to it, but I was okay with the ordinance that they crafted.